Masachet Hullin Daf Kufud Aleph and Mud Aleph, second to last line. Rav Ashi Ikla Lebe Rami Bar Abba Ahamua. Rav Ashi visited his father-in-law's house, Rami Bar Ahmad. Hazel Lebe Rami Ahmad Ka. He saw Rami Ahmad's son, which is his brother-in-law, that he was Shafid Kavda Ila B'Israel, putting a liver on top of a meat to roast. Amar told him, Kama Yahir Hay Rabbanan. Look how this rabbi is doing this. When do we say not to do it? As if it happened already. We never seen that do it on purpose. Ve'ika be dugi, but if it's a be dugi underneath the spit to collect the fat, bisra eluha kabdenami asur. Then even if the meat's above the liver, it's asur because the be dugi is like a pan. Nowadays you have that metal pan underneath the grill to catch the souse, the fat. So that's a be dugi. So it's a dripping receptacle. So the that stuff inside is a problem, and because it's coming from the liver, so the liver is dripping inside there, and the other meat's dripping inside there. If you want to use it as like a lather or lard to put on top of your meat, it's a problem because there's blood inside. What's the difference between the blood of regular meat? Regular meat, you're capturing regular blood that's dripping into there as well. The Gemara says the mud, the blood of meat settles to the bottom and the fat floats to the top. But the blood of the liver floats to the top. So we're not talking about you pour the entire thing on top of the meat. You're taking the top layer of fat. So since the top layer of fat of the liver would be problematic with the blood, that's a problem. However, the blood sinks to the bottom. The regular blood, yeah. The knife that was used for slaughtering. You cannot cut hot food with it because the surrounding area of the knife gets hot when it's slicing through from the friction. And therefore, you can't cut hot food because that hot food will take the blood from the blade. So I didn't want to cut cold stuff. Amrala Baya had a chasan, but he should rinse it at least. Amrala Blobaya Tachasan, but you don't have to rinse it. Marav de Marshmuel, Karash Mlach Babasar, a plate that you used to salt meat. Take out the blood. Asula Yachobar, you cannot have hot food. Well, Shmuel goes according to his own reasoning. Damar Shmuel holds Maliyah Harei Kiroteach. Salted is like hot. Vikavush Harei Kimuvshal, and pickled is like cooked. Salted is not like hot. Vikavush eno kushal, so pickled is not like cooked. Amar Be'eh had the Ravin Laeta. It's not true. There was this earthenware plate in Rabami's house. The Melach Be'Bisra, you salted meat. V'tavra, and he broke it on purpose so that you don't use it. Mutin, now let's see. Rabami, that's him with Yochanan, Rabami was the Tuzun Yochanan. My time with Tivrei, why did he break it? Lav Mishim Eile, Min Eder Yochanan, I must hear from Yochanan that said, Maliyah Harei Kuroteach, salting is like hot, and therefore you have to break it because you cannot fix the earthenware. Atif Ahud Rav Yehuda Kmed Rav Huna. The Atif Gemara is saying as follows: Ka'arash shemalach ba'asar, a plate that you salted meat. Asur le'achol ba'aroteach. You cannot eat meat and have food. Utnon shahadol b'sakin, and a radish that was cut with a meat knife. Mutar le'achol b'kutach. You can eat it with kutach. Kutach is a type of um has it's like sour milk inside. The type of dish. So we'll see. My time now. What's the reason between the plate and the radish? Meaning, if the plate absorbs the blood and the radish absorbs the meat, then the same thing would apply to the kutach. Why is the kutach mutar? The Gemara says, Amar Abaye, Hai hetera bala. The radish absorbed the mutar flavor, v'hai isura bala, but the plate absorbed a asur flavor. So the plate has the meat blood going inside from the salting, and the radish has just radish. Amar Abaye Rabba says, Bikila hetera mahave. Who cares if it absorbed the mutar stuff? Sof hai hetera da'ati l'dei yisrael. When the radish is not being placed with the kutach, that's becoming, if the permitted flavor is getting something asur now. The isura kafir, because when it's eating something that's mixed with meat. Gemara says, the radish can be sampled before putting into the kudach to see if it tastes like meat. But regarding the hot food, you cannot sample that. Gemara says, just have a non-Jewish chef check taste it. Like the Bible says, a pot that was cooked with meat, you cannot cook milk, but if you did it at the same time, you have to make sure it tastes. بيشبت الماء بترمى ليه وش you cannot use non-kedosh stuff بمشبت متعمد بيجي to check taste it يعني بيساعد بيشلون ترمى makes sense by ترمى تعمل الكوهين can taste it هذا بس أربع حلاب ما who can taste me the milk أما الله said أنت مالك كيف الله إحنا من تنقل وجهك over there you use the non-Jewish chef over here as well you could check the non-Jewish chef she's checked the hot food that had the plate have blood inside from the salting. So why can you check as well? The Gemara says, there's no chef. Okay, eat one. Dagim sha'alu bekera, fish that was put into a hot meat plate. Rav Marava says, you can't have the fish with kutach, that's dairy. And that's missing the meat that was in the fish plate. Which Mashma says, mutar. The Gemara says, Rav Marava says, mutar tamlu. Rav says, that's because it tastes. Ushma Mar mutar, mutar mar tamzu. Because Shmuel says mutar because that is a taste that was given over through a taste that was given over. This is a famous concept called nat bar nat. Taste given through a taste. This is basically if the fish was cooked with the meat itself, be a problem. But the fish was put into a plate that had the meat in there to be put into something else that would mix with the milk. It's like double, double removed. Gemara says, "V'ha Rav la pirushid mar." It's Rav saying it's asur, but the meat fish with kudach was not said outright by him. We learned it via inferring. The Rav Iklal the Rav Shimi bar Hiya bar Vere. Rav once visited the house of Rav Shimi bar Hiya, his grandson. Hash be'anav, and he had a pain in his eye. Abdullah Shayafa b'salah, he prepared him an ointment in a plate. But hachi ramu le b'shulag v'gaven. Same time later, they put cooked food in that same plate. Ta'im le tamat de shviyah, he tasted the ointment they put in the plate. Amalei ahib tamak kulahai. He says, wow, it's so strong that I get a flavor. So we see from here that I would say that not bar not applies, that there's such thing as a double imparted flavor. Where it says, Velohi, it's not true. Shani over there was different. The nefish made it that ointment was very bitter. That's why, but in general, there may not be a concept of double removed of flavor. Rabbi Lazar Havaka im kamidem or Shmuel. Atukli kameta gim shalu bekara, they brought Shmuel the fish that put in the hot meat plate. Beka achil bekutach, eat the kutach. Yahiv lo achal, Shmuel gives him bazar, he didn't want it. Amal Rabah, Yahiv lo achad lo achal, zabasarin. Your rabbi Rab who said that cannot be eaten, I gave and he ate it. And you're not eating it. Atalak made it Adam to Rav. Amalei hadar ben did you retract? Amalei said to him, Has lele zared avad de bar abel sifle midi de la svirle. He's like, it can't be that the child of Abara Baraba to serve me something that I do not hold. Which means, so, and interesting, Abba Baraba was a name of Shmuel's father. Very interesting name. Okay, he says, no, never happened. That's what he was saying. Rav Huna v'Rav Hiya bar Ashi Haviyatve. Bahad Bahad Gisad Mebarav the Surah, they're sitting one side of the river. Bahad Bahad Gisad Mebarav on the other side of the river. The Marda I to let the game Shala Bikara Havakuda. One rabbi they brought fish that was put into a hot meat plate and he ate it with kudah. The more Atlitain Vanim Betocha Seudan, another one they gave figs and grapes during the meal. Achiv Labarech, he ate them and he did not say beracha, which is interesting because you should be saved beracha on fruits in the middle of a meal. More Amar the Havre when Rabbi told his friend, Yatme Avad Rabbi Hachi. Orphan, did your rabbi teach you to do this? Umar the other rabbi told his friend, Yatme Avad Hachi. Did you orphan? Did your rabbi teach you this? They call each other orphan because it's another way of saying like you're not learned. They were each bashing each other. One for not making bracha on the fruits, for not making bracha on the fruits in the middle of the meal, and one bashing him for eating the meat plate with fish with kudach. Okay. Okay. More Amal Havre, the one who ate the fish with Kudah told his friend, Anna Kishmul Savli Ahlek Shmuel was mutar. Umo Amal Havre, another one said regarding the figs and grapes that Beracha said his friend, Anna Kedabi Hiyaz Vili Ahlek Rihya, Tan Rihya. Pat Poteret Kumi Machal Rihya holds that bread makes anything that's food, no beracha. But yeah, Poteret Kumi Mashkin, if I have wine in the middle of the meal, that makes me have no beracha for drinks. Marhiski Amashmu Amabayet. Is dagim shal bekara mutar le'achol bekudach. Fish into a hot meat plate can be eaten with kudach. Sinon shachatu b'tzakim shachapam basas le'achol bekudach. A radish that was used with a knife, which was cut for meat, cannot be eaten with kudach. The honey mitzvah applies to a radish. The gavaruche because when it absorbs because it's sharp food. Avakishuv regarding squash, you could just scrape it off and then eat it, no problem, because no absorption. But if you cut turnip stalks, mutar with kutah, because it's not turnips are not sharp if they're sweet. The silka, you got beets, asr the asur bikuta because that is sharp like radishes. V'ipatach behu b'dlivta, but if he changed from cutting the beets with turnips, sheperdami, it's no problem to eat the kutah because the sweet turnip will negate the radishes. بعمل الرب ديمي بالرحمن معه لأنه حيكهد من حاجة بكهد كهنبا. مثلا, can I put a jug of salt next to a jug of kutach? Do I have to worry that maybe you might spill some salt and then you might use that salt as salt meat? Amalei satem asur is asur. So be careful. What about putting vinegar next to kutach? Amalei asharet mutar. Mashna, what's the difference? Why not worry about vinegar? When you measure out a quart of salt, I'll explain it to you, which is teasing him. He's like, when you pay me, I'll pay me this man as well. He says, my time, what's the difference? How it is regarding the salt, if the kutah spills into the salt, you would be able to tell where the kutah is. But let's say the vinegar spills onto the kutah, you can't tell. How about goes with the nafala kada an kamba? There's a pigeon that fell into kudach. Shayla ba hinna bered rava mishparina. The rabbi allowed it to eat it. Amar Rabbi Mike Hakim Mushaki Agana. Who's so smart to allow this? Ilav Rav Hinna bered rava mashon for this rabbi. Kasavar, because he held ki amar Shmuel Melech hare kirteach. When did salting like hot makes it asur? Hanami lehechat eno necha mahmad melcho. That's only when it was salted so strong that you can't eat it because it's salty. Aval hai kutaha. But regarding kutach, hare necha mahmad melcho. It's eaten at this level of saltness. That's mitzvah. That's why we talk about that. It's not in the metal. It's only when the pigeon was raw. About sleep it was roasted. The pigeon was roasted. Basically, you have to peel it off the edge, the outside. We eat really cool also, but it has cracks in it. The meat has cracks in it, and it's a sore because it went all the way in. And peeling won't do anything. We metabel betabelin kula also, but and also if it was seasoned with spices, spices go in and out everywhere. That also would make it a sore. Kikash basar, bread that was cut with if you had a loaf of bread and you cut meat on top of it, that's what you can eat it. العلم اللي make it was bread meat. العلم اللي عبران was when the liquid went through the bread completely. العلم اللي I'm only applies when the liquid is thick. Have klishta, it doesn't bother. The liquid is thin and it's not really blood. Shmuel Shadle Kabesh Shmuel will throw the bread to the dog that he roasted meat over it. But Ravuna Yahibla the Shaman Ravuna would give it to the tenant, but he wouldn't eat it. Manager, someone's like, not going to give it to the tenant. Ishar the Kula Mashare. If he says mutar, you should eat it as well. Why are you giving it to the guy? Yeah, Sulu Kamasur, if that's all, you can't give it to your Shamosh. Gemara says Shani Ravuna Da'anina Date. No, he was different. It was so Asur was mutar, but it just irked him out. Roast them out. Rabbi Achila, Rabbi Itlof, Bekarle Hamar Basar, he would call it meat, wine on bread. Amar Nachman Shmuel, Imenechin Klika Had Basar, you cannot put a bed dugi, the receptacle vessel, under the meat to catch the fats. Actually, Kol Mar'el, the meat is well unless you kissed all the red colored liquids from it. How you know this? How you know when the meat is bloodless? More Zuram Rav Pamar, Mishetala Timirato, when the smoke rises, which means when the smoke rises to meat, which meaning there's no more blood coming out. Or you could say when the smoke's coming from under the coals, because there's so much blood came out. Versus Vidima, Makir Rashi has a question. Vidima maybe only the bottom part of the meat has no blood, but the upper part of the meat does have blood. And we'll continue from here tomorrow.